You don't find this video finds you. My name's Jake Ryan. I'm going to be telling y'all how the law of assumption got me rich, but not just about the law of assumption, how I got to this point. I made $300 in the entire month of January 2025, and June 2025, I made $92,000 for the entire month. How does that make sense? How do you go from $300 a month to $92K a month in just 6 months? I'm going to tell you my exact story from the beginning. I started my first online business when I was 17. I was a senior in high school. It's crazy because no one around me was making money online, but the thought got placed in my head for a reason. I knew that God wanted me to get rich. God wanted me to get everything I ever wanted. And I always knew I had God on my side. There's a verse in the Bible, God is always with you. And essentially, if you believe in God, then you believe that God is infinite, right? And if you believe that God is infinite, He has created every single version of you out there that exists. So what does that mean? The millionaire version of yourself already exists. I didn't know that at that point, but I know that now. And for those of you guys that are trying to get into this, know that the millionaire version of yourself already exists. But this is my story. So again, I was a senior in high school. I was 17 years old. It was April 2023. I started a dropshipping store and I was like, damn, like I'm about to launch. This thing is about to go crazy. I'm about to make so much money. Guess what? I launched it. I woke up. I thought I was going to have $1,000 in sales. I had $0 in sales. And I said, damn, this is going to be a lot harder than I thought, but I was up for the challenge. So fast forward a couple months, I was still trying to make dropshipping work. I didn't see any results. But now it's August 2023. I'm in college. I'm going to school at Blinn Community College right next to Texas A&M. The only reason why I'm there is because my parents wanted me to be there. I didn't want to go to college. The only reason why I went there was to satisfy my parents. And I always knew that this was not the path for me. I knew I was going to find a way out. I knew I was going to get to the point where I'm at today. And why did I get here? Because I always knew I was going to get here. But anyways, I went through 2 months of classes and then I stumbled upon wholesaling real estate. Like I said, I knew I wasn't going to get rich off college. I knew the people that you see in Lambos, Ferraris, Bugattis. You don't say, oh, I wonder what he studied in college. You say, I wonder what kind of business he runs. It's like a simple concept. If you want to get rich, you can't do what 99% of people do. So me and my friend got into wholesaling real estate. We were doing it for like 3 months. We saw no results. And I was so delusional, not even delusional, because if it was delusional, it wouldn't exist. I was so convinced that I was going to get it no matter what happens. Like I was going to get rich or I'm gonna die trying. So I dropped out after the first month of finding wholesaling real estate. I said, I'm going all in. I don't care what anyone thinks. I don't care what my parents think. They wanted me to go to college. Right when I dropped out, I told all my friends, they called me stupid. They said, go back to college. That is the dumbest thing that you could do. You dropping out is retarded. I specifically remember, I have all the receipts. Anyways, I was doing wholesaling real estate for about 3 more months. I didn't see any results. And then I quit. And here's why you should never quit, because you never know when it might work. The week after I quit doing wholesaling real estate with my friend, it's the week that he closed his first deal for $10,000. That $10,000 should have been mine, but I quit. It's like that one guy, I forgot his name, but it was like work, no results, but I'm a little bit better. You guys know what I'm talking about. And then work, boom, it all pays off one day. It's the compound effect. Everything starts to work. And it looks like overnight success, but it would have never happened if you didn't show up all the days before that. So yeah, I was kind of pissed. I should have made money and I didn't. I was pissed at myself, not at my friend, because I knew I sold myself short. Now fast forward, and at this point I moved back home with my parents. It's November 2023, and then I went back into drop shipping. And then out of nowhere, I just stopped. I started to feel really bad because I wasn't successful. And I actually know exactly why I didn't succeed. It was because of my thinking patterns, my thoughts. I always told myself every single day, like, can I really do this? I would question myself, like, am I really worthy of making $10,000 a month? Can I really do this? Does this stuff actually work? I mean, and I made like $500, but what is that? That is not anywhere near my goal. So from January 2024 to March 2024, I became like extremely depressed because I wasn't successful. That is the main reason why I felt so bad. It's because I knew that there was a version of me out there that was already successful. I just wasn't that version today, and that really hurt me. So now we're in April 2024. I started to get on meds. I went to therapy. I started smoking and drinking every single night. I would literally pray to God to take my life. And the only reason why I'm telling you guys this is because I want you to hear my story. I was in a shitty situation literally a year ago today, and now I'm in this situation. Anyways, from April, May, June, like I said, I was drinking, I was smoking. Every single night I would cry and pray to God to take my life. It sounds horrible, but it was true. I really wanted to end it because I was not where I wanted to be. Now it's the beginning of June 2024. I met this girl. This girl really changed my life. She genuinely saved my life. The only reason why I got better was because of her. I had a motivating factor. I didn't want her to see me like this. I didn't want her to have to care about me like this when I was depressed and I was a loser. So I decided to just suck it up and try to be better every single day. And I got a job, you know, I started working out again. I started getting back into better shape. I lost like 15 pounds in the month of June because I had a motivating factor. It was bigger than me. You guys have to know that you always have a why. Towards the end of July, I told myself I'm going to make 10K next month, and I truly believed it. Like, I told myself every single morning, I'm gonna make 10K in the month of July. I'm gonna make 10K in the month of July. I don't care what happens. I don't know how it's gonna happen, but I'm going to do it. I have a screenshot on my phone from June where I told myself I was going to make 10K in the month of July. I'm gonna put it on the screen right now. This is no fake shit. I'm telling you every single thing that I'm saying is the truth. So anyways, July rolled around. I got into this business model. It was reselling. I mean, every single business model works at the end of the day. Like, you see people get rich off drop shipping, reselling, Amazon FBA, high ticket sales, whatever. Every single business model works. It just comes down to you making it work. But anyways, now we're in July, and guess what? I made 10K in 15 days. I quit my job and I was like, holy shit, I actually did it. And then I started thinking to myself, like, how did I make this work? It's because I had conviction when I told myself I'm going to make 10K in July. I repeated that every single day, and I truly believed that I was going to get it no matter what. And that's all it comes down to. You have to believe it before you can see it. You have to assume that you are already who you want to be. But then 9 days later, on July 24th, my best friend died. He's the only reason why I have this tattoo right here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it says "Love Like Ian." That's my best friend's name. Truly, he also saved my life. There were many nights where he would pick me up at like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and we would just go on drives. The one person in my life who I felt like I could tell anything to, gone within an instant. Like, you guys have no idea what that does to a person. That whole night I didn't even sleep, and I kind of fell back into a spiral of depression. You know, even though I was still with this girl and she was really good to me, it still hurt me so bad because I specifically remember we always promised each other that we would get rich off the internet, and he's not here, so I have to fulfill that promise for him. But we truly always did. We tried dropshipping stores together. We thought we were gonna get rich off dropshipping. The one product that we ran together was like a Ring doorbell camera. It was weird. I don't remember it. He was the most genuine person ever, the person that could make me laugh the most, the person who knew me the best, gone. And that really took a toll on me mentally. So from July 2024 to December 2024, I fell back into the depression, and I really wanted to end my life. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I have so many video clips of me talking to myself, just documenting it, saying, I hate my life right now. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I have no idea where I'm going to. And again, I got back to this point where I would pray to God to take my life every single night because I saw no point of it. Even though I was still with my girlfriend, to me, I was still lost because I had no idea what I was doing in my life. But anyways, now it's New Year's Eve, December 31st, 2024. I specifically remember I was with my friends and we were drinking. It was just a normal night, you know, and I realized the only time that I was ever happy was when I was on something, when I was drinking or when I was smoking. So I was looking at myself in the mirror and I asked myself, do I really want to keep living like this? And I told myself, no, I had enough of it. I'm going to kill the version of myself that I am right now and become a whole new person. And I knew what I had to do to get to where I wanted to get to. So January 1st, I set all these goals for the new year. And at this point, I was making no money, right? But I set the goal to make $50,000 in a single month by June 1st. Now you may be wondering, how are you able to set such a big goal and be so confident that you're gonna hit it if you're not making any money right now? It's because I also realized another thing this day, that you create your own reality. So January 1st, that's when I started growing my personal brand on Instagram and TikTok. And I wasn't making any money off that at that time, but I had the tunnel vision. I knew if I just show up every single day, day in and day out, the days are going to stack. It's a compound effect. So you know what I did? Instead of just moping around and complaining like I have no money, I don't know where to start, I got in the gym. If you just get in the gym, like, that is the best place to start. I became disciplined in the gym, and I knew that from that discipline, I would get disciplined in business. So like I said, I just started by going to the gym. I knew that that was a positive effect, that would have a positive ROI. So towards the end of January, I lost like 5 pounds. I got into a little bit better shape. My habits were on point. I was acting like the millionaire version of myself. So then February comes around. You know, I'm still doing the same thing over and over every single day. And it's February 15th. I specifically remember the day I made my first $500. And I realized the only reason why I made $500 today wasn't because of what I did today. It was because all the things I did yesterday and the day before that and the day before that and the day before that, I knew that the compound effect was real. Days keep stacking and stacking and stacking, and eventually everything clicked for me at once because of the 45 days of discipline before that. And I set the goal at the beginning of February to make 10K during that month. And guess what happened? I made 10K in 15 days. Why? Not because of something special or, I knew something that you didn't know. I just assumed. I told myself I will make 10K a month, and I was actually kind of doing it wrong. I was saying I will. And to get what you want, to make your manifestations instant, you have to say I am right now instead of I will. But when I made the switch from saying I will to I am, my entire life changed. And that's where the law of assumption comes in. Like I was telling, this is what the whole video is about. Assuming that you are who you want to be right now, not you will be, because the future doesn't exist. You can't prove that the future exists because we never live in it. Like you guys say, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll do it next week. But tomorrow and next week never comes. You are only ever living in the now. You only ever live in the present. You never live in the future. So you have to say, I am right now. Anyways, towards the end of February, I found out my girlfriend cheated on me. And one of my partners at the time told me, you know what this means, right? You're going to make a fuck ton of money. And I looked at him and I laughed. I'm like, that's so cliche. But it was true because I'm at the point that I'm at today because of that girl. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it sucked. Imagine the girl that you trust the most, the girl that you love the most, the only person that you really talk to now, besides your super close friends, betrays you. Again, that does something to a man. I lost my best friend and then my girlfriend cheated on me all within 6 months. At that point, right when I figured that out, I was like, damn, my life is shitty, but this is going to be an amazing fucking story to tell one day. People that lost their best friend, people that went through depression, people that got cheated on, they are going to be inspired by this because I'm gonna make a fucking movie out of this. But yeah, the girl cheated on me and I just said, fuck it, I'm going all in. And I forgot to mention this, but in February, I went through firefighter school. It was a 2-week program. I was supposed to be a firefighter if I didn't go all in and if I didn't believe in myself. And then I had to go through the EMT program towards the end of March. That's when it started. So now March is here. I'm setting the goal to make 15K in March. And I have to do all this classwork for EMT and other firefighter prep stuff, but I was really focused on making money online because I knew that was what was going to get me to where I wanted to get to, in that Lambo, in that Bugatti, in that Ferrari, having this penthouse view. It wasn't gonna be a regular job. And I showed up on the first day from 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. and then we had an hour break. I went home and I had a sales call. I hopped on a quick call. I made $1,200 just like that. $1,200 from a 30-minute phone call. Then I went back to class and I was just thinking like, holy shit, I just made $1,200 in 30 minutes. Why am I in this class right now? And that was when I came to terms and knew exactly what I had to do. I had to drop out because being a firefighter wasn't going to make me rich. So the next day I went to the class and I ended up leaving early. And she said, where are you going? And I said, I'm going to the restroom. And I never saw the instructor again. But I ended up making $25,000 in the month of March. So now we're in April 2025. This is when I truly changed my life. Like, I attribute all my success to God. And this is when I found a real relationship with God. I started to go to church again. I started to read my Bible again. I started to pray every single day again. I found this verse. It said, to whom much is given, much is required. And it really hit me. To get to making 50K a month, I had to sacrifice my girlfriend. I had to sacrifice talking to my friends. I had to sacrifice talking to my family. I had to sacrifice the drinking. I had to sacrifice the smoking. I had to sacrifice every little thing that I had right now to get everything I ever wanted. And in the month of April, I made $42,000. And now we're in the month of May, but for the first 15 days, I made $9,000. And I realized the only reason why I haven't made that much money is because I wasn't acting like the version of myself who was making 50K a month, and I didn't truly believe that I was him right now. I wasn't as disciplined as I was at the beginning. I wasn't showing up every single day. I kind of got complacent. I kind of got lazy. And so I had to make another switch, basically convincing myself that I was already making 50K a month. Like I said, I would manifest every single day. I would write down in my journal all these manifestations. And instead of saying, I will make 50K this month, I said, I am making it right now. And I looked myself in the mirror for like 5 minutes every single morning. Right when I woke up, this was the first thing I would do. This sounds so crazy. I said, I am making $50,000 a month. And I also said, thank you, God, for giving me the ability to go out and make $50,000 a month. So gratitude is really what moved the needle. I was grateful every single morning, and I truly believed that I was making $50,000 a month right now. Even though I only made $9,000 in the first 15 days of May, Guess what happened? I made $53,000 in the last 15 days of May, all by convincing myself that I already had it, because you can't have what you don't have. That version of you that you desire to be, you know, making 10K a month, making 20K a month, you know, the guy who gets all the girls, you are him right now, because that version of you has already been created. So if you just act like that version right now, you tell yourself, I am him right now. I have everything I ever wanted right now, and you truly believe it, and you convince yourself that you are who you say you are, because perception is reality at the end of the day. The way you perceive yourself is the way others perceive you. It's the way the universe perceives you. That's when you realize that you are in control of everything. You have to know that that version of you out there that is a millionaire is already created. You have to tell yourself, I am a millionaire right now. But not just tell yourself, actually follow up and be the millionaire version of yourself. Do what he does, think like him, walk like him, talk like him, and you will become him. And truly, you already are him. And know that the only thing that is separating you from becoming it physically is just time. There's a verse in the Bible that says, I am who I am. What does that mean? That means that you are exactly who you say you are. Again, perception is reality. And I ended up making $62,000 in the month of May, all by the little mindset shift, assuming that I was already the person I wanted to be. I already was making 50K a month. And the one thing you guys need to know is that you are not a millionaire because of the money you have. You're a millionaire because of the person you are, the mindset you have. Because think about it, millionaires go broke every single day, but they always gain it back. Why? Not because of the money that they have, but because they are the person who is a millionaire, who can get the million back. And again, like I said, to whom much is given, much is required. I sacrifice everything, y'all. Like legitimately, I gave everything I had every single day. I barely talk to my friends anymore. The girls, I don't talk to them anymore. The parties, I don't go to them anymore. The drinks, I mean, I drink only whenever I'm traveling with my friends, but that's it. I don't smoke anymore. I don't have any of these bad thoughts anymore, because I know that I am who I say I am. I know I control my thoughts. I control my reality. I am a creator. I know that everything is created mentally before it ever is physically. Think of this chain. Think of this mic that's on my chain. It was all an idea in someone's head. So if you can see yourself getting rich, making 10K a month, 20K a month, you can vividly imagine it. Close your eyes really quick. Can you vividly imagine yourself making $10,000 a month? If you can, then it is real. There's a version of you out there that's already making it. Again, God is infinite. God has already created every single version of you. It is truly just up to you to create your own reality and go down that path that you want to go down, because everyone is self-made. Broke people are broke because of them, because of the actions that they've made. Every single action has an equal and opposite reaction. Let's say you smoke every day, you drink every day like I was doing. I was acting like the broke version of myself. That's why I was broke. And rich people are also rich because of them. But the only person who is willing to admit that is the rich person. Why? Because they're successful. But you truly do create your own reality. Assume that you have everything you ever wanted right now. Close your eyes, tell yourself, I am a millionaire. I have everything I ever wanted. I have everything I desire. And if you live in this mental state of assuming that you are who you say you are, it's only a matter of time before it's going to come out physically. Remember, I am who I am. Assume that you are going to get everything you ever wanted, and assume that you have it right now, because you can't have what you don't have. Again, you have to have it before you have it. Actions have to match with that version of yourself, who you say you are. You know, you can say all these things, but if you don't actually act on it, and if you don't align with the version of yourself who's making 100K a month, you're not gonna get it. It's never going to happen, I promise you. I made $92,000 last month, but I should have easily made $100,000. I went to Miami for a week. I went to Tulum and Cancun for a week as well, and now I'm in Dallas. While I was on those trips in Miami, in Cancun, in Tulum, I fucked off. I lost all my discipline. I ate like shit. I didn't work out. I didn't go on runs. I didn't do what the version of myself who was making 100K a month did. So that's why it didn't happen to me. And yeah, I still made $92,000 last month, but I'm pissed. I should have made easily $100,000. But again, the only reason why I didn't make it, because I didn't align with that version of myself. So it all comes down to acting and assuming that you are it right now and just aligning. That's it. That's how you're gonna get everything you ever wanted. Do you believe? Because I do. And I know exactly what I have to do to get to where I want to get to. And you do too. I'm gonna make $100,000 in the month of July. And you guys be like, oh, how do you make so much money? How are you gonna get there? Just by acting like I am already here. And I know that's what's gonna happen to me. not because of a special ability that I have that you don't have, not because I know something that you don't know. I just know that I am in control of everything around me. I am the creator of my own reality, and I know I have God on my side. I hope you guys found something valuable out of this. Remember, your mind is your only limit. Do you truly believe that you can get to this point? Because I did, and I knew that I was technically already at that point mentally. It was only a matter of time before it came out physically. Now it is that time. Now I am the version of myself that I always wanted to be. And it all came down to assuming and acting like I was it, even when I wasn't. Your mind can take you so far. You know, people ask, oh, how do all these guys make so much money? It's the mindset. It's like you see all these millionaires in street interviews. Like everyone asks them, did you know you were gonna be a millionaire? They all say the same thing. They say, yes, I always knew I was going to get to this point one day. You have to know, assume that you are going to get it, and you will get it, I promise you. I got to this point by using the law of assumption. Use it to your advantage, and you'll get everything you ever wanted.